Hi, my name's Rich Bennett, and of course, I run HarfordCountyLiving.com. I started this to bring on some people from Harford County and businesses to talk about their events coming up and anything else that's going on, whether it's promoting their business, a book, or anything. So I'm asking you right now, if you're here in Harford County, contact me. Let's get you on here. It's just a short 30-minute show for you to talk about yourself. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe and click that thumbs up and the notification bell so you're always aware of new episodes coming out. Email me at rbennett@harfordcountyliving.com and let's get you on here and start talking about you and your business and your events.
Elite power washing.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Harford County Living. I have a gentleman on here, and if you've driven through Havre de Grace, and I found out right before we started recording, other places in the country, but mainly Havre de Grace, chances are you've seen his art on the side of buildings. If you've gone into, what is it, Arts by the Bay Gallery? It's it,
Artist Emporium is where I used to show.
okay. But I have Ezra Berger on, who is an artist, a phenomenal artist. And like I said, if you haven't seen his work, just to give you an idea, this is probably, you said this is your most famous piece, right?
Yeah, that's probably the one people, we picked a little scab in town and got some publicity for, but yeah, I got a lot of work around town.
So, how old were you when you actually started painting?
Boy, yeah, I was probably elementary school when I was starting to get encouragement and having teachers that were like, you're good, you're
Right.
showing that you understand this language, or you show talent. But it was around junior high when I guess when I really started finding that it was a passion. It
Yeah.
was like a meditative process, or something that I did to communicate. Yep.
So, because you do a lot of I guess they're called murals, right? On buildings, on the side of buildings. Has that become a full-time job for you now?
It's a full-time job.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's up and down, but yeah, it's been as good as I could hope for in a small town, and actually beyond what I ever thought it would be. And I've just had a lot of support. Community support
Right.
is, and we have a lot of people that love the arts up around us. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you do. So, you also mentioned earlier before we started, your people can see your art, not just here in Harford County, but other places as well. Can you tell us where else they can see it? Because people do travel.
Yeah, yeah, I have work. I mean, a lot of it's private, but
Right.
I have work in Jersey, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, way out
Wow.
west in Kansas, where I'm from originally, and a lot of places in between. It's just, but my favorite work, the work I get to spend the most time on, is Havre de Grace, and it's just been a special place to me, I guess.
Well, and that's one of the things I love because when you look at these, like this one here,
Hmm.
the speakeasies and the Hotel Bayou, that's telling a lot of history about Havre de Grace.
Yeah, yeah, and we were, well, Alan wanted to tell our real history, our stories,
Mhm.
and not try to make it look all pretty and say,
Right.
this is how this is how it was. It was kind of a wild, Las Vegas like, or they called it Little Chicago back in the day, and it was a town people came to kind of let loose and have fun, and yeah, we tried to bring that back, you know.
So that one I just showed, this one right here, where is that painted at?
That's at the future Harmerstown Art Center. It's what we call Graw Alley. They're
Okay.
currently excavating it, grading it, and building a park there.
How long
Um,
did that take you though to paint
it
that?
took about a month and a half. Each of them, all
Wow.
those big ones, take about a month and a half and 2 months. And um, yeah, it was fun. It's just kind of it was cool because Alan talked about these times, and a lot of older guys would come out and like tell you the way it was back then. And I didn't live that time, but
Right.
you know,
Neither did I. I just want to make the record clear. I was not alive back then. Because
yeah,
that
but
was
you
what,
could
the 30s and 40s, right?
yeah, yeah, 30s and 20s, 30s, 40s, and
Yeah.
it was happening. It was almost like the horse track is kind of like the thing we glamorize or say, yeah, exactly, is
Yeah.
it's what we're known for. And you guys had a horse track up around the mall at one time, and
Yeah.
that's an exciting thing. Those were the biggest athletes back in the day. But there was also this nightlife side, like bootlegging, gambling,
Right.
prostitution, uh, booze when booze wasn't allowed.
Which is probably why Al Capone used to make trips down here because of all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we had mafia ties that were
No.
very, yeah. The horse track, kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, do any of your paintings, I didn't even realize that. Like of this one with the Grawl. Well, I mean, that's mainly the horses. Um, as far as historical figures like Capone. Now I saw the one, yeah, I think you had what, Abe Lincoln in
Yeah.
the one? But
Yep.
do you
And
have anything with like Capone and all in it?
Capone's in the brothel one up front. He's coming out. He's in the trench coat coming out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's him
Okay.
front and
Well,
center kind of coming out.
yeah, nice
Um,
looking car there.
yeah, he was known to have frequented the Red Onion, and he actually contracted syphilis and died of
Yeah.
syphilis, but everybody said it was because of Havre de Grace. So I had to do a bunch of research and find out if he actually contracted syphilis in Havre de Grace, and it turns out he did not. He caught it in Chicago in the brothels up that way. But yeah.
God. And this one here, the circus. Where is that at? And explain that one.
Yeah, that's also down at the Future Art Center.
Okay.
Basically, we had um, circuses coming through town, and that was like one of your biggest sources of entertainment for a small town. It was a big show the week or the 2 weeks that they came, and the reason we wanted to tell that story is because they actually used to winter here. They used to winter in Havre de Grace, get off the train, pitch tents, and stay throughout the winter and feed their animals. And anyway, yeah, it was just kind
Wow.
of a neat chapter of history that is kind of lost, I guess.
Yeah. So, and you keep mentioning the art center. Can you go into a little bit about that? When it's supposed to open and basically where it's going to be located and what's all going to be involved with it.
Yeah. And, yeah, Rich, I didn't say, but thanks for having me on here, man.
Oh no, it's my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Yeah. So yeah, Harmerstown Art Center. Havre de Grace used to be called Harmerstown. Back in the day before Lafayette came and renamed it. But basically, we wanted this historical theme to kind of run through the art center and kind of tell our cultural stories as a town, our history. But yeah, the art center is going to be have a park, a garden that they're working on currently. Um,
Okay.
One has a great board of members that's trying to make this a top-notch art center, a real attraction for people, not just from our town, but from
For
around,
everybody.
for everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it'll have art studios for artists working in all types of disciplines,
Nice.
glassworking, ceramics, painting, uh, 3D printing, music, everything. We want to have everything there, and it'll also have like what's called maker space. Um,
Hmm.
so like a full wood shop, full ceramics.
Really?
Yep. So you can pay rent like a gym, but also not have to make that investment of $5,000 worth of woodworking tools just to get.
Yeah.
You can just kind of all the tools will be there. Yeah, and then
Wow.
upstairs will be like gallery, classrooms, dance studio, music studio, and a little bit of everything. Yep.
That's wow, I didn't realize that all that was gonna be there, and that's the one thing I love about I mean, Harford County's got a lot of fantastic artists here, but Havre de Grace, I'm gonna say, as far as art goes, definitely the place to go in Harford County, because no matter where you go, you're gonna see all types of art.
Yeah.
Not just the paintings or the sculptures, but even the music and everything else, the museums. It's just I just love going up there just to see all the different things and um, no matter what, wherever you drive around in Havre Grace, somebody's going to see your painting.
Yeah, but yeah, you're exactly right. We're hoping like we know Bel Air has its vibe, and
Yeah,
it's a great mecca for any type of shopping, or you have all the stores and everything, but we feel like the cultural center is has always been, but it's gonna be in Havre de Grace, and we
yeah,
have this bunch of artists around that area that are not only attracted to the history, but they're attracted to the river, the vibe, it's just always been a fun, funky, wild sort of town,
yeah.
and yeah, we got a lot of artists that live around there. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of the town and funky, this one I love. It's not on a building, I believe, uh, but with the crabs, yeah, basically taking over Havre de Grace.
Yeah, crab's taking over. Yeah. I was a big
What
Calvin and Hobbes fan back in the day. Little
Oh, I love them.
yeah, and Calvin always used to imagine like ravaging over a town, and like I don't know, I just playing around trying to make cool paintings that my kids would like, I guess.
Oh, your kids? I was gonna say, how many adults love that?
Yeah,
Now, have you sold this?
yeah, yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
and people can get prints of it, right? Please tell me yes.
Yeah, some I'm working on that. I'm kind of low tech. I kind of
Okay.
like just selling the paintings, but I've recently been teaming up with Glyph, and they've been kicking me in the butt and say, "You need to get on board with this computer thing. It's not going away." But
That's
anyway,
what I mean, that when I saw that, when you sent that to me, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." I just love it. I love it. So, as far as your art goes, yeah, and everybody's always inspired by somebody or has a mentor. Who are yours?
I have many. I guess my early teachers.
Mhm.
My dad, he passed early. He was an architect, but I guess his absence in my life kind of helped turn me into an artist
Right.
as much as anything. Um, yeah, I had a first protege when I first came to town named Susan Snodgrass. She was a great artist and kind of taught me
Yeah.
that art is a real valid job that's important to people, and that take it seriously. It's not just a hobby thing. Just and just a lot of people throughout the years
Yeah.
of, yeah.
You know what? That's I'm glad you said that because that's after talking to some artists and authors, they don't really some of them don't look at it as a business. And I always say so they don't consider themselves professionals. I always say if you're selling it, you're a professional. But that's what makes somebody a professional. You get money for it.
Right.
Um, but I'm glad you said that because there are a lot of good authors and artists that for some reason just don't think that they can make a career out of it. You're proof that you can. Hell, who's the other? Sean is another one. I mean, the art that you guys do and that you is simply amazing. And when you're going out, you're painting all these buildings. I mean, you already said, and that takes a month and a half. That is a full-time job, and you're doing what you love. Yeah, I just wish other people would have that mindset because there's a lot of great artists around here, and they need to listen to you.
Yeah,
Definitely
if they
need to listen
listen
to
to me,
you.
I tell them don't do it. It's a risky job. You have to be very comfortable with taking risk, as
Yeah,
you probably know from radio. Is yeah, it's just a very unpredictable job with a high rate of failure and
yeah.
yeah,
But you gotta fail
financial
to
failure,
succeed.
financial failure. But
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it's important. I think it's something that it's like a meditation. Like, some people go to yoga, some people go to the gym, but to me,
everybody's
art's
got their own different type of therapy.
right. Just like just getting in front of the microphone and just like, hey,
Yeah.
finding out different things and teaching other people about it's the same. I think it's the same thing. It's just a little different
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly, exactly. The if you I don't know if you can answer this or not, but with some of these buildings that you've painted, how much paint do you actually go through? Do you have any idea?
Thousands and thousands of dollars worth. I know there's been
So
a few projects where I was like, I almost ate it on my material costs, but, yeah, I don't I mean, I'm one of those people, some artists like to spend time and mix colors together and
right.
spend time and no, I just wanna buy, like, 20,000 colors, spread them all out, and just put on pure color. I don't know. It's
So this one painting, which is my favorite painting, um, and it looks like I kinda hope I get the artist right. Yeah, I think I said Van Gogh. Um, this
yeah.
is I I just love this because I'm seeing, like, different styles in there. How long ago did you do that one?
That was within the last year. It was just
Oh,
kind of,
really?
yeah, just, playing around. I mean, I try not to be like there's nothing wrong with that, but there's, like, 2 types of artists. There's, like, a cover artist, and then there's, like, a that was me doing a cover band, I guess, a cover.
Right, like a yeah,
Yeah, and some people just love performing and getting up on stage. Me, I'm more like I really like, I guess, the writing process or the creating process. I like to, create original ideas and, so yeah, but it was fun to do. But yeah,
so has anybody approached you to do any custom paintings besides on the walls? I mean, not businesses, but I mean, like on canvas.
yeah, yeah, I just
Have
recently had a couple, Mark and Karen, Gaylord just commissioned like 20 paintings of buildings around
wow.
town, and yeah, they just, they were cool. I mean, this is every artist's dream is to just have them go, "We like what you do. We're gonna pay you to kinda develop new culture and fresh
Right.
ideas." And man, and they were cool as anything. They said, "If you wanna borrow the show and show it." So yeah.
So now where can most people see your art besides driving around Havre de Grace? Is there a place that they can go inside and see your stuff that's on canvas?
Yeah, I'm kinda hidden, and I kind of, it's like a
Man, all your
speakeasy.
art, why? It's awesome though.
Well, it's a speakeasy almost. I'm trying to talk Daddy Allen into setting up the pool tables and all this. But I'm in the basement of the Seneca Cannery where they have a
Oh yeah.
beautiful antique store in Havre de Grace. And I just keep obscure hours, but luckily, people just track you down and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, can people go online and buy your stuff anywhere? Or no website yet?
I think Glyph kind of, yeah, they're working with me. But Glyph is probably the better option to
Okay.
track my stuff down, and hopefully soon. We're talking about the reopening the Artist Emporium, which recently had to close.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
that'd be awesome.
yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because I mean, I knew it closed, but man, to reopen it, that
yeah.
oh wow.
Like I said, we've got some great support around town, and it's yeah, we're
And, and
really helping.
and speaking of support, so you told me earlier, all these people actually help you with the doing the buildings and everything?
Yeah, there's some board members there. There's
Board
me.
members.
Yeah, girlfriend tolerates me. um, but
I
no,
know
no,
that feeling.
others with volunteer painters and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of times, I get more credit for these things than I deserve. But yeah, it takes a lot of people. Whether it comes down to people helping you find funding, people that help you paint. There's been people that bring out food in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Bring out a 6 pack of beer. I had a guy hand me a $100 bill and hug me
Wow.
like we knew each other, and I was like, well, it's pretty special. So
Yeah. Wait a minute. So you said in the winter, you're painting some of these in the winter outside?
I have. It's not what you're supposed to be doing, and run into some things adhering properly because of it. But um,
That's what I
I
was wondering about.
yeah, I've learned, but yeah, I've made some mistakes. We'll just say,
Well, again, you learn from them. So
yeah. Yeah.
what do you want to paint building wise that you haven't been able to yet? I mean, you got to have like a dream building that you just want to paint.
Well, I really think the art center really satisfied something for me. Like I
Okay.
climbed Everest, like I had to climb Everest in my life, and that was my magnum opus. But we have a Vonix coming up, a chemical plant. It used to be called Huber, right in the center of town, and we're talking about a mural there.
Oh,
Very
nice.
excited. Yeah, I don't know. I this kind of just hope for jobs around the town. I feel like I've kind of saturated Havre de Grace a little bit, but it's time. My kids are older. I can kind of start to travel more and do some of that.
Actually, you know what would be nice? And if our county executive is listening to this or watching this, I hope he gets this idea or likes this idea. Basically, I always say there's two gateways to Harford County, and that's along 40. If you could have something, your artwork somewhere on 40 as you come off the bridge into Havre de Grace, and then down in Joppatown as you're coming out of Baltimore County into Harford County, I think that would be awesome. And then well, I don't know about 95, but even Route 1.
Yeah.
They won't have to name Harford County to Ezra Berger County.
No, no. I'm happy doing background, but yeah, I think I'm very happy and honored to be part of our culture, and you know, I
I,
I don't know. I definitely feel blessed.
yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for putting your art out there because I think I mean, it's beautiful, but it's also telling the history, which I love. And I think more and more people, need to look at the history of Havre de Grace and Bel Air and Harford County in general. And it's perfect because now, look, we're celebrating Harford County 250 years now. So people can actually go through, drive through and see your stuff. If they see you painting, stop, give him $100. Uh, I don't think he's going to be painting outside in the winter though anymore. Then
Not
again, you
anymore.
never know.
Yeah.
and,
But
and
he's a starving artist in the winter.
yeah, and hopefully we'll see the Artist Emporium open again very soon. And now, if that's the case, are you going to be displaying your art in there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Good.
yeah, we think it's like a special little hub for culture in the whole county. We think it was the coolest art gallery, and the Arts Collective has gotten behind it and really wanted to support it. So and we're
Good.
just yeah, I'd love to be involved, show my paintings there, and try to get as many see if I could even work up to the management job and try to get a lot of local talent and even further Baltimore and other
Right.
cities and try to incorporate and be a major stop along the tour for a lot of these other artists. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you actually teach classes as well for
Yeah, yeah,
painting?
yep. I do paint nights and stuff like that. I don't have a
Where
master's degree, so I can't teach at the college level.
where do you teach them at? Or do let me rephrase that. Where do you do them at?
Yeah, I don't teach much. It's kind of teaching by not teaching a whole lot. But basically, we go around to different venues and restaurants and anybody who will have us, and we just try to make it fun and
Right.
let the artists kind of determine their own subject. I don't try to tell people what to paint, or it's a little different. It's more
Yeah.
run like, our college. It's just kind of like wide open, and but it's
So
been
now
great.
now can people follow you on social media to find out when you're doing these classes, or is that something that usually the venue will put up there?
Both. Yeah, the venue
Both.
will. But yeah, if anybody's interested, Ezra Berger on Facebook is how I put out most of my publicity and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Ezra, I want to thank you again for everything. And everybody that's watching this, stick to the end because you're going to see a mess load of Ezra's art that I put in video form so you'll be able to see it. But is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
No, no, I appreciate it, Rich. I really do.
Oh,
Putting the word out and spreading the word. I'm grateful.
oh, it's my pleasure. And one of these days when I get up to Havre de Grace, it's funny. It's weird to say that. I love going there, but it sounds like when I say that, it's like hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, look
um,
me up when you come to town. We'll get into some
oh,
people.
I will. And actually, I'm for the regular podcast, and we already talked about this. You're going to have to come down and do an episode of that because I know we could talk for a long time about all the different art, just about art in general.
Yeah.
So definitely have to do that. But Ezra, thanks a lot, man. Take care.
Thank you, brother. See you.